901, we'll jump on that one right away. Dean.
All right, back in January, remember we talked about that vehicle?
Yep.
Well, finally landed in Des Moines.
Okay.
So I just wanted the official approval that we had talked about, turning the title over to the COG. And then that goes into the vehicle replacement for a handicapped vehicle, because this is not a handicapped vehicle, it's just a, you know, kind of cut my miles down on my buses, because that way I don't have to take up the bus when I don't need to. And it's, that way it gets on the COG, they have it, and then when it comes around with the whatever formula for the miles and all that, the years and the miles, then we'll get that federal funding to help, you know, replace that vehicle into a handicap van at that point. So I just want the official okay for that we're gonna do that.
Do you remember how much it was?
Roughly 43.
Okay.
Makes sense to try to save miles on those buses.
Oh, absolutely. The one I ordered a bus in January, and I'll probably see that in January of '25.
So you need a motion to approve the purchase of this, or the acquisition of,
To then turned over to, the title turned over to EasyCog.
for the title to be turned over?
Yes.
Okay. Motion for the title to be turned over to EasyCog on this vehicle.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Doing cement tomorrow for me. It's cooled down. It's cooled down a little bit.
It wasn't bad this morning.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, at 5 a.m.
3 a.m.
How about something quick? How about,
I didn't see anything.
You want
with
number
the claims.
7? The TIF report, since it's a 0?
or we can do the claims, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, all my questions are mainly for Myra. Anyway. Anyway, so.
No questions.
Okay, Gary, you got something?
Virginia Gay, $12,000 for June.
That's the last of the payments, correct? You won't see them no more, correct?
Right, not for the public health.
And there's 2 taxes on parcel 2408 9300, and that's just up.
That's the taxes on this service center building. We have to pay taxes on a portion of it because we lease out
We
some
lease.
areas.
The south half, and then the, where the Abbey Center is, we gotta pay taxes on that.
How much is the total tax bill on this building? Do you know?
Is that the one you're looking at? Because I think we're paying it as a whole. Those are the ones I passed around last week.
Yeah,
Let's see if I still
And
have.
then there's taxes on one right below it.
Is it the ranch land?
Must
Supervisors?
be
What's the department number?
that'll be the farm ground.
870031.
Yep, that's
60.
Taylor. Those are the 2 I submitted for payment. I didn't want to forget this year.
You still wanna go over them? That's fine. We'll jump to Shelby at 9:05.
I printed that stuff, Shelby. I didn't know if you brought some.
No, I didn't. I thought about it on the way here again, of course. It's the tree canopy grant through EasyCog that we already talked about. It's just the official paperwork, so we can start moving forward with the agreement, so.
And we were approved for how much again?
$750,000, that does include the administrative percentage on there. So we won't get all of that, but
It's a lot of trees.
yeah, it is. We plan on having a meeting at the at a board meeting at the City of Atkins, so that we can kind of lay out a plan and explain what the grant's getting used for and everything, so.
There's some trees down at Hannon Lake that need to be cut.
There's trees everywhere that need to be cut. Yeah, we just do a little bit at a time.
Yeah, there's a bunch of dead trees around.
Mhm. That emerald ash borer and the derecho, both.
So I'll take a motion for me to sign this, and I'll let you guys look at it.
And they'll get 90% of that, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
750,000 is the base, and
And
then
then
Easy Cog gets 10%.
10%, which is the administrator fee.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll make a motion that we authorize the signature of that award.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm sure we'll be back for more once we know how the bid letting and all that's gonna go, so.
Sure.
Sweet.
Are you guys still gonna do all the planning, or are you gonna hire somebody to do all that?
The general idea on the planning can come from us, but the work with the dozers will be, that'll be a contractor, obviously. We don't have dozers.
It's a lot of trees.
Yeah. It's a lot of work to do to get ready. Haley, do you want me to take that, or do you want to send it in? Whichever.
I can let you have it today,
Okay.
because I'm leaving for Des Moines for EC, or for ISAC,
Yes, same.
so that way you can get it scanned and just make sure I have a copy of it.
I can do that. I'll just send it to you and them at the
Yeah,
same time.
perfect.
Sweet. I will see you in the morning.
Thank you.
All right, you got anything on the claims?
Well,
Or if you do, we'll come back to that.
come back to it.
Okay. All right, how about, we ain't got really no time item till 9:30.
You want number 7, my
Yeah.
urban renewal report?
Yes.
So it's still 0, we have an inactive TIF, so we just have to report our outstanding debt as 0.
Okay.
Want to approve and initial that?
Well, that shouldn't be too hard with it being 0.
No.
Make a motion, we approve that urban renewal report of 0.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
You got this initial someplace?
I think Tracy did, I have to go online and
Oh,
put the
Tracy
date,
did?
yeah.
Okay.
How about all the liquor license?
Yep, I have 3 of them.
Sure you don't have 3?
I said I have 3.
Gary.
Guess I'd move we approve traveling tipster.
Okay.
Or traveling
Tapster.
tapster.
Yep.
You were thinking tipsy, weren't you?
I was.
And I would second his motion. And that's for September 22nd through the 26th.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The names they come up with.
Do that one.
Need a motion to approve this one?
Yep.
Okay. This is for the
Christina?
casinos, and this is for the time period of 9/17/23 through May 17/24. It's my motion to approve that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Here's the last one.
The last one will include one of my son's weddings.
That one's a little shorter.
Well, yes, it is. Ready for this one?
Yep.
This is the Sip and Six. That's their Class C license, and that's going to run through August 31st through September 4th.
Yep.
Motion to approve that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Matt.
Anyone printing copy, do you want? I don't, so,
Got it.
all right. You good?
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Michael and Shelley Crow, which are right over here, they're requesting change to the use of approximately 1 acre of land to allow for a single-family dwelling. The site is located just outside of Blairstown to the west along 77th Street, and that's in the section 14 of Leroy Township. And this site, it's located on a parcel that's 21.93 acres, and the dwelling will not be split from this parcel. The site that they're looking to build is currently planned in row crop production. The area has an average weighted corn stability rating of 65. The existing field driveway that is located along the west edge of the parcel will be widened and used to access the site. This proposal was reviewed and approved by Randy Sherwood. In 77th Street, that's a county paved road running west out of Blairstown there that has an annual average daily traffic count of 1,000 vehicles. And the dwelling will be connected to the city of Blairstown to their public water supply. And the septic system will need to be installed to serve this new dwelling. And this site, it's located in the northwest corner of a parcel that the applicant currently farms. In the southeast corner of this parcel is the original building site, which includes a single-family dwelling along with other agricultural buildings. And as mentioned earlier, the city of Blairstown is located immediately east of this parcel, and the land to the northwest and south of the site, it's all in row crop production. And 2 notices were sent out to adjacent property owners, and legal notices were published in the official newspapers of Benton County. Prior to today's hearing, we did not hear any feedback from any of the public regarding this request. In this proposal, it's located in the area of the farm that has the lowest CSR, And the applicant currently farms this parcel, it's just not large enough to qualify for a farm exemption with the existing dwelling on the property. And this proposal should not have any negative impacts then on any of the surrounding farm operations. Is there anything you would like to add to that?
No, I think you covered it. Gary's back door.
I move to approve.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks for coming up. Yeah, thank you.
There you are.
For your records, that just shows it's
Next time, I'll send you looking for septic, guys, and who you're working with.
Okay, Gary, you got questions?
Nope. I've got it figured out.
That's all right.
No, I'll take a motion for the claims.
All right, I'll move
Let
this
us
claims
know.
be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now, the last one we're gonna do is
We'll
gonna
see
be.
you then.
ARPA
Take care now.
funds, which was only one
Yep, that's.
that we gotta agree on. That's Mike Days.
Yep, that's the initial one.
He's consulting that helps with the towers.
Correct. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Sorry.
So is this gonna wrap up the funding? Well, it says total billed, prior billing was 122. Oh, current contract amount, I see it, 194. Okay, all right,
He bills us monthly.
yeah. 2952. So, okay. Make a motion that we approve that payment to Mike Day.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. That's come out of the ARPA funds.
Correct.
You want the tax abatement?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Okay, so the one I know I talked to you last week on that conservation received
Yes.
from the Jorgensens.
The Pahas.
Yep, and that one is for $514. Belle Plaine Schools had a parcel. It should have been exempt, or they're asking for us to abate it for $1,852. City of Shellsburg has a parcel for $186, and then the United States Fish and Wildlife had some, 660, what township was that? But that was for 136. So there's 4 parcels pursuant to Iowa Code 445.63, that if we would like to abate, so the governing body does not have to pay for the tax.
The one that US government,
The Fish and Wildlife,
where's that at?
parcel number 660, let me pull it up.
That's for 136, correct?
I believe that's the first time we've ever abated. It isn't?
Nope. Sometimes it depends on when they get their transfers done, whether Larry would make it exempt or not. But, no, we've abated them before. Pull it up on Beacon. Come on.
And that one, Rick.
Iowa Township. I'm trying to see who they got it from. It was from Golden Grain, so it was John Harder's.
Oh, Belle Plaine.
Okay. Make a motion that we approve these 4 abatements.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Resolution. Primer, aye.
Resolution?
Yep.
Okay,
Primer, aye.
You're saying aye.
Seaman,
I just had my hand, that's
aye.
why.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
Do you wanna-
Reports, you know, we got one more.
She's got one more.
I was gonna say, do you wanna do the budget amendment?
Yeah, sure.
Hearing date? So, I know there's a few that wanna still come in and present to you. So I'm thinking by the time, because I need their amounts in before the hearings so I can publish. I was gonna look at September 26th or October. Calendar doesn't have an October. This is yours. I think it's the 4th. It's gone. For the 3rd. So, or probably to be on the safe side, if I could do October 3rd at 9:30. So I could give everybody a chance to get me their amounts and talk to you guys for approval
What will we do with October 3rd?
at 9:30.
9:30.
Yes.
And I would second that.
All in favor on that one?
Aye.
Aye. Reports.
Well, I had a workforce development meeting, and that was on Friday from 1 to 2:30, and then Friday also I had Central Iowa Juvenile Detention. It was a busy Friday.
Zoom.
I Zoomed them both because one was in Eldora and one was in Cedar Rapids. And it's like, yeah, they haven't been able to beam me up yet, Scotty. So,
I messaged Tony Reed on that Central Iowa. I was trying to find where we have like the contract. Did they bring that up at all?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's all counties are having
Yeah.
issues.
Well, I got emailed from somebody in Lynn County too,
Yeah,
because that's definitely one we're gonna have to amend our spending.
yeah, for sure. And they showed the aging, which the last payments didn't show, and we got some aging there. Yeah, and I
Well, and that's
presume
partly why, because some of
probably
them
because
were
of this,
matching up with,
right.
like, we have to find out if they have Title 19, certain things that cover, certain things that don't.
And they were talking that it's got something to do with the sheriff's offices and the counseling, and so there's gonna be a big discussion next meeting.
Okay, that's good to know, because Luke's been in, he's been good, and Ray too, on looking at some of those.
Yeah. gets a little pricey.
If they're there a month
But-
long, it's their.
But we're very fortunate compared to a lot of counties who have big crime rates. I mean, I didn't bring that paperwork along, but it just, wow.
It just, like last year compared to the 3 year prior, you know, when I looked at that history.
Oh, I know.
That's what I told him, I go, it's hard to judge for how much we're gonna put in there.
Well, very true. Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely one I'll increase spending authority for,
Should.
or I should say you guys will. Morning.
Hi. There was like 15 adult waived juveniles.
Eric, is not working too good, is it?
15 adult waived. These are the ones that are going to adult court, but they're juveniles. And so they can't put them in that population, that's what that new addition's for. 15 of them already, last month.
Talking about the juvenile,
Not from Benton County.
No.
Central Iowa Juvenile Detention
No.
Center.
Yeah, I've been going through those detention bills to make sure we should be paying them. I caught a $1,500 valuation the state should have paid instead of us. We hadn't paid it yet, but, you know, they just send everything and figure, well, we'll let them figure it out. Just, it's amazing how expensive it is right now. Just shocking to me.
And I was just commenting how we are fortunate because some of these counties have got big problems.
It's gonna get worse.
Well, we've got enough. I mean,
Oh, we have enough of our own with the juveniles, that's correct, but yeah.
I was trying to find whether we had an actual contract with them, and you were still looking at that, right?
And I talked to Tony Reed, so we're not the only one looking for it, I guess.
Yeah,
I would like to have something locked in as what we're getting billed instead of just getting the bill and trying to figure out whether we owe it or
So it makes
not.
me think we don't, if all the other counties are searching for it too. You know what I mean?
How you doing?
I don't know. Because I looked in the minutes, I know back in 13 when we severed from that North Iowa one or whatever that one was, found that,
North Central Iowa, yeah.
yeah.
Well, let's just say they're not cheaper now. I mean, I'm trying to figure that out.
Well, they handle a lot of counties, don't they handle about half the state?
and they sure do,
Yeah.
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 Cheaper isn't always better,
No, it's not.
yeah,
We want to make sure we're getting the most for our money we can.
yeah.
Okay, 9:30, Ray.
I had two issues. Let's talk about the opioid committee. We've been getting checks from this, the first part of the settlement, the manufacturer's settlement, and we're up to 104,000 that we have right now. And when we're all done with both the manufacturers and distributors, we should have about 3 times that total, is what we're thinking. Haley and I went to a 2-day seminar in Des Moines. There are a tremendous amount of restrictions and protocols related to this funding, things you have to do and ways you have to do it. So the first thing they said is you have to form a committee, and they gave us suggested persons that, like occupations that would best suit this committee. So Haley and I have put together a list of 9 names that we want the board to approve for a committee. I don't know if it has to be a resolution or anything, but our plan is to do a needs assessment, and once we get a needs assessment, then we'll develop an action plan, bring it to the board, make sure you're okay with it, and then proceed with distribution. So our people are Dr. Meeker from Hospital and Medical Examiner, Ben Parmenter from Benton Police Department, Chelsea Herber. She works for ASAC. She's a grant writer, so she has a lot of familiarity with programs and other ways to get money, and maybe we can combine some of this with a grant to get even more money out of it. Grace Petrozelka, the Public Health Director, James Bishke, the Superintendent of Schools at Benton Community, Cindy Patty from Belle Plaine Ambulance Company down there, myself, Haley, and John Lindeman from the jail. So that's a really diverse group. We've got ambulance, EMT types, we've got school, we've got jail and police, public health, and the medical examiner. So I think our committee is really diverse and will bring a lot of information to the table. So I'm looking, Haley and I are looking for you guys to, give us the go-ahead with this committee, and we'll start setting up meetings. So,
It looks like a good group of people bringing, their experiences,
everybody's
their
committed.
background into it.
Yeah, everybody's agreed to do it too.
Good,
We
good.
just haven't officially met yet.
So you need a motion to appoint these people? Is that what
Yeah.
you're looking for?
Yeah, yes, please.
We just really don't know our term limit, like, some commissions, so probably until the funds are utilized.
Which makes sense, yeah, and they've all agreed to it, so that makes it simple.
Yep.
Motion is to approve those 9 individuals.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
My other issue is, as you know, we hired 2 new people in collections at the start of the fiscal year. They weren't budgeted for, so I'm gonna have to do a budget amendment. Haley wants to do it in September, so I just,
Yep, we just set the date for October 3rd, so that way I had enough time to collect all the data from everybody.
I'm just here to give you a heads up so you don't get blindsided by the request. We have 2 employees, one of them with full-time health insurance, or family health coverage, and one per individual. And then I want to add some money to my conflict case budget line because stuff that I wanted to be submitted prior to the end of the year did not get submitted by the attorneys handling them, so some of that carried over, so I don't want to fall short. So just to give you a heads up, the 2 employees come out to about 102,000, and then maybe another 4,000 or 5,000 on top of it. The other issue I want to talk about is Deb in collections is asking me to ask you for a small increase because her duties have almost doubled. I didn't know how you felt about mid-year increases. I'm thinking somewhere, if you want to do that, somewhere in the 3 to 4% range is what I'm thinking. So I don't know how you feel about that at all.
She did get 7%, right?
Yes. And I'm making the request for her. I'll do what you tell me.
I stopped up and looks like it's a tight run situation.
She's doing an incredible job with the space she has, and her people are really coming on board quickly.
I might as well be the devil. We really haven't done midterms. And I understand that she's leading this group, really taking on quite a challenge.
They were busy the day I was there.
Oh, yeah.
They're busy, no question about that.
Is there a way we could give her not so much by the hour, just give her a lump sum fee, a one-time deal, because once, am I right, once these people get trained and learn the business, she won't really have to help them so much, right? Train them?
That's the hope, yep. That's the hope, that they'll get so good that they'll be able to do it on their own.
They're still gonna look to her
Sure they are, they're always gonna look at
as
her.
as the supervisor.
I understand that, but I mean, I understand that she's training them now, so I mean, it's taken, she's doing her job and then plus gotta look over.
Yeah. The right way to do it is, because this is, in my opinion, and knowing, some of the workload that she's going through, the right way to do it is on a permanent basis instead of just a one-time stipends. But it should be done at budget time, when we do everybody else. And she won't like to hear that, but, we've turned people down before on midterms.
And I think as long as she feels at some point it's recognized that, I think she'll be all right with it. She won't be happy about it, but she'll be all right with it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I
she's-
get it, I
and
get
she
it.
is doing a lot more. She
There's a
really
lot of
is.
stress on her.
There is. And she's, not that far from retirement, so I would like to see her stay a while, not have this stress,
Right.
become a factor.
Well, additional monies doesn't relieve the stress, it just eases some of the pain. So,
I think she's doing a great job.
yeah,
I think she,
so that's my opinion.
what kind of money are you thinking?
Well, I was thinking 4%, which is about $2,400, roughly, 25.
She's doing a lot of work, that's for sure. She's getting these people up to speed.
On top of that, we have our new office management system, prosecution by Carpel, we went live with on June 1st. So she had to learn all that and then train all of them on all that. They did 2 hours training Friday afternoon, or yesterday afternoon, just on that. So the timing for her was pretty challenging to have to learn a new system and to teach all these 2 new people. And Jim and Kelsey are doing great. I'm really, really happy with the progress they've made. It's something to go down and watch. I'll just go sit in the corner and watch for a while. I'm really pleased.
The day I was up there, I was impressed with what I saw.
I'm surprised they wouldn't kick your fanny out for being in their way.
I just keep quiet and watch, I have to monitor their progress from time to time. Yeah, Jim is just incredible with people on the phone, and we got an email from an individual that said that their life was just a disaster. And that day that she was kind of hitting bottom, she had called and talked to Jim, and she said when she got off the phone, she felt like she had hope for the first time in weeks. So if you can call collections and get hope, that's interesting to me.
Well, there's nothing we can decide on, it's not on the agenda.
Right,
This
right.
is
It's
Something
something
we can think about it.
he's asked about for his budget amendment,
Mhm.
so.
Well, would you be opposed to me including it, and then at that time, if she wants to come in, let her have an opportunity to speak to you?
That way I have the amounts to know for what I have to publish too.
And she's bringing in way more money than,
Are you gonna use some of the collection money for that, or
I could, if that's what you want me to do, I can certainly do that.
I just didn't know?
I think we're down to 36,000.
Yeah, I use a significant amount of it to pay for our annual subscription to Carpel. That was like 15,000. But we do have money that I could use for that, sitting in that fund. I don't have a problem with that.
If he uses that money out of the collection to,
Because are we still doing it? I don't remember. We haven't been doing
quit
it.
this
Okay.
year.
I think
It was
back
kind of a
to
yucky, yeah. I didn't like doing it that way,
others
but.
that we had denied and how PO'd they were at that time that we denied them because it was mid-year. And they had to wait for the next budget, to get an increase. And I think it's just a hell of a can of worms. He can put anything he wants into his request,
mhm.
and whether we approve it or not is up to us.
Okay.
Just remember, it could be a floodgate.
And I fully understand, so.
And Deb understands too, I'm sure she would. is, like you said, as long as she knows there's something that could come down the pike later.
Well, in December or January, you'll be starting to set your budget for next year then,
Right,
you know? So there's something on your budget, you know, when us three guys set the wage increase, if any, you could also slide that in alongside, right?
yep.
Of course. Other departments have done it.
And I think last year we made about 4 or 5 exemptions. Well, maybe we'll do it that way then, Ray.
Okay,
Tell her that way, that,
all right, works for me. Now we'll get out of your hair.
all right, thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys coming in.
Lori, whenever you get those line items with the cushion, just email me.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
You got any reports?
I haven't been down to, Hammond this week. Was down there last week, but I haven't been down there this week. You been down there?
Yeah. They weren't working last week, or the end of the week. They're supposed to start yesterday, come back. No. As for the landfill, they got 3/4 of the dirt hauled from,
Really?
yep,
From Lake County,
yep,
3/4.
3/4 of it's done,
They-
it's there.
They've been kicking butt then.
Yep, and then, as far as I know, the liner got done Monday or Tuesday, it got done Wednesday down there.
Good, you?
The state had to come and inspect the liner to make sure it's gonna hold, you know,
So are they using it already?
I don't know, the sand, well, they gotta put a foot of sand through the whole bottom of it, then they can start using it. The sand is down there at the barrel pit, if you were down there to see that. Now we gotta get it from there up inside there, but you can't drive on that liner.
So how do they get it
They
spread?
start packing the sand, you start here, and then you start
Pushing.
moving it in front of you. I haven't heard since what's going on.
There's a lot of trucks. There'll be 2 and 3 in line. I mean, they're just after it. Early, late, they're after it. I don't know how many trucks they got. They must have 50 or 75 trucks hauling.
Okay, Myron. Morning.
Been working with the DOT trying to get some projects closed out that are on the farm to market system that have been paid for through the DOT's farm to market voucher system. The final payments, which generally are the 3% retainage, do need Board of Supervisor action on them. And so the 4 projects that you have on your agenda today, the one that's parent 10, just starting off on the top, is the bridge that was replaced north of the Benton Airport, 24th Avenue Drive, 2 years ago. Been working with the contractor and the DOT trying to get all the paperwork that goes with, that was a big federal aid project where there were 5 bridge projects tied together. 4 of them were in Benton County, 1 of them was in Johnson County. And getting all of that coordinated with all of the contractors, subcontractors, and with federal aid takes a while, as well as staff issues, but nonetheless, we're headed in that direction. And so we've gotten to where all of the bid items that were on the contract have been addressed, paid for, except for the retainage. With the DOT, a contract will never have more than $30,000 withheld on it. So unless, I mean, normally if it's a small project, you're not up to that point. This one was $2.5 million, so we had reached that point. 2 of the 5 projects were not paid for through the IDOT voucher system. We paid for one of ours through our local system. And the one in Johns County paid for out of their system because the bridges were not on the farm to market system. But the 110, because it was one of the first ones done, has $19,494.57 that's still due for the retainage. The 116 project, person does the math, I'm gonna tell you $10,505.43 on a payment voucher I'm looking at, but I'm pretty sure those 2 numbers added together are $30,000. The 115 project will have no retainage because the $30,000 is met, but I would need some action by the Board of Supervisors. And then Perrin 107, that was the 4th one on the project, was the twin box culvert that was replaced on County Home Road, 61st Street Lane in late 2020, between, I think, 30th Avenue and 31st. And that project has, let's print that sheet off, $11,470.50 of retainage. I don't think it would matter whether these are acted on individually or as a group, but I would look for a motion from approving the final payment for those projects and getting the chairperson's signature on these 4 forms.
So moved.
And seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That authorizes your signature there, sir.
Amounts up those first 2, I wasn't. Those amounts when you're done.
Put it in there. To get the project number.
The total amount.
That's on 110. That is,
That's 110.
yeah, this is 116.
Okay.
115 is 0, and 107 is 11,470.50.
That one.
15 was 0 because those 2.
Okay, gotcha, perfect.
I've got some questions for you.
Yep. Thank
Land acquisitions for the road.
you.
Yeah.
I
I was
didn't- I
working
forgot
on
to
this
mention
here last week.
Yeah.
I unearthed on my desk 2 checks dated 2020 to them for that amount that he never got mailed out somehow, for some reason.
Okay.
So we just
Which
need to
surprises
sign
me that they wouldn't have inquired, but then at the same time, it doesn't surprise me. But yes, while I was looking for some other stuff on my desk, I unearthed that and came to Haley's office and we put it back on because those checks had never got distributed nor had new ones been printed.
Okay.
We had agreed on the dollar amounts and have easements that are filed for that right-of-way acquisition. But
Yeah.
those property owners had never gotten the check.
Okay, understood. And then you got 2 brand-new trucks from Truck Center,
Correct.
them are dump trucks,
Single axle dump trucks, yes.
single axle.
Yep. Yep, replaced 2 single axle trucks that we have that needed to be moved down the road.
So they're gonna have flatbeds on them, or,
Nope, they've got dump bodies on them.
well, they do?
Yep, we use them with telescope operation for, tie the culverts down on top of them, but use them to move dirt back and forth while we're installing driveways or roadway pipe.
You put a blade on them too, or no?
Yes, they'll have a blade and be used or as a secondary spare truck for the wintertime,
Okay.
but yes.
Gonna put a used box on them, or are you gonna buy a new box?
Those had new boxes put on them. I think the sander and the snowplow blade on the front, we were taking off of the old and putting them on these new ones.
Yeah.
So I thought it was.
You answered my questions.
Yeah, salesperson's coming down later today. He's got a few other extra documents that he needs to drop off, so we're gonna get that check today. Brought the trucks down
Them trucks,
last week.
them trucks got a def, probably got def on them already?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, everything that's new has that, so yes, we've got, getting more and more equipment that runs with DEF now also. Water graders, heavy duty trucks.
Motor graders got DEF.
Yep, they do. Everything that runs on diesel fuel and is newer past, forget the magical date right now, has a DEF tank on them.
Okay.
I was thinking it was 07, it's gone back a ways.
I don't think it's that far back, but it's,
I think it's like 10, isn't it?
I don't remember for
I
sure.
know at a farm sale, you
It's-
get a tractor that's low hours that don't have def.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, I have some questions, as long as Michael's here.
Okay.
About road repairs scheduled for this year.
road repairs.
Well, Rick gave me this last year, and had County Home Road, Oak Grove Road over to Center Point, Urbana to Shelter, I think it's supposed to get redone. Are they still on schedule for this year?
No, I say the design work on that hasn't started with the absence of any additional staff at my place. I am entertaining some consultant activities to help put that together with thought, hopes, plans of addressing that next construction season, but not this one, because this time frame, like you say, it would be winter at the earliest, that the plans could be fully developed and out in contractors' hands.
So the plans will be done this coming winter, is your plan, or next winter?
Between now and this winter, to be bid out by contractors late this winter for work to be completed in calendar year 2024.
24. Okay, that was what I was wondering. I didn't see nothing going on anywhere. It's getting late in summer, so. I had
Yes.
a question about it, so. I wanted to
That
say-
was the intention a year ago or 2 years ago, but finding staff in my office has been a challenge from an engineering technician standpoint. And so,
So how does that get addressed? I mean, if you,
well, because I haven't been successful in finding us, then I'm gonna look at spending a little bit more money and hire a consultant that could put the plans together. It's something that we could conceivably do in-house with staff, but my staff is
You short on-
Myself.
Short on staff? Or
Yeah.
Is it something that can be, a position be filled full-time for that, or? is
Yeah, it is a full-time, or has been a full-time position in the past. It's just a type of position from a background standpoint is heavily sought after right now across the state. And there's not enough people to fill all the vacancies. The cities, counties, contractors, consulting firms, all are running into this problem right now and have been for the last couple of years, so.
Is, the other question is the money budgeted for that? Is it available, or do we, after this plan gets developed, I'm not real familiar with this, how this works, but after the plans get developed, is the money there for the project to go ahead as soon as they get the bids back, or do they gotta look for money then?
No, there would be utilizing funds that there is money available to start right away once the
Okay.
contract has been
So,
approved and signed.
okay. How long does it take to get the bids back usually? Or is that something that could delay it too?
It could, it's not usually a problem, but with DOT's monthly bidding activities, the bids are opened on a Tuesday. Most generally by Friday, the bids have all been tabulated, and usually a week or two after the bid openings, the results are brought back to the Board of Supervisors for action.
I see. Now, on these bids, do these people bid this, saying we're gonna do it this, is that included in the bid, the time frame, or is it
It would all be part of the,
part of the bid?
part of the
So when they're
process.
bidding on it, they're bidding on it for 2024 essentially?
Correct.
Okay,
Then we know what the timeline would be,
okay,
how many days they'd have to have it completed by, and when would have to start. That would all be addressed in the proposal with submitting their bid.
all right, okay. That answers my question, I guess, so. And you tell your snowplow operator, thank you for not plowing gravel in my ditch this winter, and your mower operator for raising the mower that goes by, so I appreciate that, so. That's all I got.
Thanks for your time. Good to see you.
Yeah, good seeing you guys.
They're not verified or missing important information.
No, I guess that answered that.
Myron, the dairy, they've put something on the road east of the dairy where they're gonna haul silage, and people are complaining about the dust. It's, I don't know what they put on there, but it's real fine.
We have been doing some work down there in that general area. I think we're down there with a water truck trying to help with some compaction. The dairy is looking to start chopping before the middle of this week, but they have also contacted a dust control applicator, and they're putting dust control at intersections and in front of houses between the fields that they're planning to chop this week, this year, and their storage facility there east of, so they're doing a bunch of work. I think Alliant Energy is putting in a new, we've had a utility permit here a while back, but they're putting that new line in for their digester this week, I believe, in that area. But I believe part of that's gonna get treated with dust control, and the dairy's been, my understanding, trying to water some of that road down right now, and we're up there trying to water some of it today to help with material that we salvaged while we were cleaning the ditch, shaping that road and put it back up on the road. But as you know, it's been pretty dry here the last couple weeks, so dealing with pretty dry material.
That's good, because I'm getting some complaints. I hope that it all works out, because there's gonna be a lot of traffic there.
But I know with their chopping operation, I think last year or the last couple of years, they have contracted with a dust control applicator and tried to address intersections and houses between their heavy routes running back and forth with their chopper wagons.
Yeah, they do a lot of chopping. They got 2 choppers down there now, I think. And I don't know how many roads they take, probably 8. They're big ones.
Do you have any other reports?
No,
Are you looking for a motion?
yes, I am.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you for all your work down there. Appreciate it. You know, I don't see much of it. I don't have a reason to.
I think I was told last month, or told recently, but last month, some land in, was it Monroe Township, I think? Sold for 21,000 weeks ago. But I know you take that price per acre and look at a 40-acre ground parcel purchase or an 80 and do the math. It becomes quite a bit.